Good morning and welcome to Sunday, November 7th. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with today's weather hazard briefing as some fairly active weather continues across the region, but who will see impacts, particularly from snowfall over the next few days. So let's dive in here and take a look. Two storm systems affecting the region over the next several days. The first one's already in progress for those of you waking up this morning to wet roadways or even a little bit of snow. Generally expecting light accumulations out of this one. Snow about 1 to 4 inches for storm totals through this evening. Most of that accumulation is going to be falling above about 6,000 feet. There certainly will be some bit lower elevation areas that will see some flakes, but in terms of snow accumulating on the ground, that's generally our expectation based on temperature profiles today. The exception will be over in the Tetons. Some locales up there in the mountains picking up 4 to as much as about 12 inches of snow out of this storm system. So, like I said, snow generally not making it to most of the valley floors, so impacts, particularly for travel, generally going to be confined to the mountain passes and also perhaps up in the Island Park area. And I can show you that graphically here in just a moment. Monday into Monday night, we'll see a break across the region with tranquil weather, no major concerns before storm number 2 arrives for the Tuesday and Wednesday time frame. Kind of similar numbers here as you're looking at these bullets on the screen, but I think the second storm will have just a little bit more moisture, maybe a little bit more strength to it. May see a little bit better impacts for some areas, particularly with colder temperatures during the second half of the storm. So again, snow about 1 to 4 inches above about 6,000 feet is where we're expecting that accumulation, except sawtooths. The Sawtooth Mountains and some of the other nearby peaks really picking up on the southwest flow regime out of this system, 4 to 12 inches, and we may see some higher amounts as well at a few of the other peaks across our mountain ranges. Snow may make it down to valley floors on Wednesday with this second system. Will be a little bit colder during the second half of the system, or particularly on the backside of the system. Not expecting a lot of accumulations down low, but better chance for a little bit of that accumulation to creep down towards some of our population centers. Impacts, generally mountain passes again, might be able to pick up some snow in the Wood River Valley and once again in the Island Park area. Generally moderate to even high confidence in most elements here on these two storm systems through Wednesday evening. Breaking this down a little more geographically for you, there's a lot going on in this slide, but let me add a couple boxes here. Again, here's the first storm, really ongoing this morning, but wrapping up by this evening. And then our second system here coming in for Tuesday and Wednesday. And bringing, again, rain and snow across the region with most of that snow up at the higher elevations. Our break day here on Monday, again, tranquil. Might see a little bit of patchy fog potential, particularly up in the upper Snake Highlands, kind of northeast portions of the Snake Plain. I'll show you that graphically here in a moment. And we'll watch the Snake Plain in general as well, particularly near water sources for patchy fog. By Thursday, low confidence. Thursday going into next weekend, maybe a few lingering light snow showers across mountain ranges, but as far as organized storm systems or really impactful weather, not really expecting that as you get out to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and next Sunday. Taking a look at alerts that are in effect across the region, do have some winter weather advisories for a few areas here to our north, including up here into West Yellowstone, part of Yellowstone National Park. For a little bit heftier snowfall out of this system. And remember, I mentioned with today's system, storm number 1, the Tetons picking up on some decent snowfall. But as far as our southeast Idaho forecast area, we do not have any watches, warnings, or advisories in effect. Very easy to see what's going on here on the satellite loop. Look at this stream of moisture, stream of cloud cover moving northeast across the region. It includes portions of the Snake Plain as you wake up this morning, but as we go over the course of the day, we're really going to focus our impacts down here into the southern and eastern highlands. So let's take a look at what that might look like here. This is simulated radar reflectivity from one of our models. So this is what one of our computer models thinks the radar might look like as we go over the course of the next 24 hours. So not necessarily a perfect scenario, but it gives you an idea of generally the areas that we're expecting to be impacted here. Kicking off at 7 a.m. this morning, maybe still some precipitation falling in the Snake Plain corridor, but other than that, as we go to 8, 9, 10 a.m. this morning, you can see that activity shrinking off to the south and east into the highlands, maybe also continuing to fall up in the Island Park area with some snowfall up there. 11, noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this afternoon. A little bit of a diminishing trend. You can still see that main corridor of best precipitation activity is from southwest to northeast here across the southern and eastern highlands, generally south of 86 and well east of I-15. Can't rule out a few light rain or snow showers, however, across the rest of the forecast area, and you can see some of those popping up here in the central mountains. So light activity, just not expecting a lot out of it with that best organized corridor here in the south and east. By 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 p.m. this morning, still light showery activity with a continued diminishing trend. May see a bit of a resurgence by 9 or 10 o'clock this evening down in the far southeast portion of our forecast area. We're talking south of Pocatello, well to the south and east of Idaho Falls. As we go into the nighttime hours tonight, maybe some rain and snow down across Malad, Soda Springs, Montpelier region. Then as we head into the early morning hours on Monday, here's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Monday. We really wrap this system up. Any lingering precipitation down here in the southeast coming to an end, mostly by daybreak as we start the new work week on Monday. Okay, total snowfall through tonight out of storm number 1 here, and this gives you a good visual look here as well in terms of what areas we might see snow sticking to the ground. Certainly not expecting that for most of the Snake Plain, the Eastern Magic Valley, a lot of adjacent valleys. May see a dusting to an inch in some locales up here across the central mountains, and you've certainly already seen a little bit of snowfall already out of this system at the higher elevations. Island Park area, Henry's Lake area, an inch or two out of this system. You can see those heftier amounts on the edge of the map here as you get into the terrain east of Island Park and into the Grand Tetons, where quite a few inches of snow are expected way up high. And then really targeting those peaks and ridges, locales above about 6,000 to 6,500 feet here down across the southern and eastern highlands. Really, as far as travel impacts going, we're watching those mountain passes with that snowfall. A little bit breezy today as well. I don't think the winds are going to be quite strong enough and quite lining up enough with the areas where we're seeing active snowfall to really be worried about blowing snow or reduced visibility, but certainly could see a pocket or two out there of that with gusts anywhere from 15 to about 25 miles an hour, a little bit higher, 30 miles an hour or so out here over the Arco Desert and Idaho National Labs. High temperatures today getting up into the 40s for most locations across the region. Of course, warmest here in the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley corridor. Okay, Monday, break day between the two systems. We did mention a little bit of potential for some patchy fog. Don't think this is going to be a huge widespread issue, but we'll have to keep an eye out for it as we go into the overnight hours, Sunday night into Monday morning. Best potential here, don't pay attention to the legend. These numbers aren't really going to mean anything. What we're trying to show you here is geographically what area are we looking at the best potential for fog development, and that's going to be up here, right up against the upper Snake Highlands from the Island Park area down toward maybe Rexburg and then out toward the Mud Lake area. Could see a few other patches in the Snake Plain region and also up here in Stanley as well Monday morning. High temperatures on Monday, very similar. Not really going to gain a lot of ground here, topping out in the 40s for most areas. Only 36 up in Island Park. Not terrible down in Twin Falls and Burley, though. 48 degrees, your forecasted high on Monday. Okay, high temperatures and wind gusts Tuesday. So here's day 1 of storm number 2. Holding pretty steady with those temperature readings for the first day of the storm. And again, that's going to mean rain for a lot of our lower elevation population centers. Snow up in the mountains, particularly starting above about 6,500 feet for snow level. And a little bit breezy out there pretty much across the whole area with wind gusts getting up about 20-25 miles an hour on Tuesday. Widespread rain and snow expected across southeast Idaho for day 1 of this system. Wednesday morning, I threw the morning low temperatures on here because you can see we're going to be pretty chilly, 15 degrees or so up in Stanley, and then getting down into our population centers along the interstates here, very close to freezing. So whatever precipitation we have left over out of this system on Wednesday will have a shot at dropping some snow down to valley floors. I think most of the precipitation with this system is going to focus on Tuesday and Tuesday night, so we'll have to see how much lingers for the lower elevation elevation areas as we go into Wednesday as far as capitalizing on those colder temperatures. Here's high temperatures Wednesday afternoon, getting up into the upper 30s to low 40s. Over here on the left. On the right, another look at wind gusts. Continued breezy for day 2 of this system on Wednesday, particularly out across the Arco Desert craters of the moon with some gusts over 30, otherwise gusts over 20 miles per hour. Little bit better potential here for some pockets of blowing and drifting snow, where we can overlap some of those winds with active falling snow in our mountain regions. Here's a look at total snowfall over about a 36 to 48 hour period, Tuesday and Wednesday out of storm number 2. Really hammering the Sawtooth Mountains here. Again, accumulations 4 to 12 inches up high. May see several inches of accumulating snow over Banner Summit and Galena Summit, so certainly watching for travel impacts there. Stanley, Sun Valley, Haley, the Wood River Valley area, potentially also picking up on at least an inch of snow down there at the lower elevations. And then really the rest of the snowfall is confined to the mountain passes and the peaks here across the rest of the region. Island Park area may see some additional snowfall down along Highway 20 there. And you can see just big picture looking at this graphic, little bit better potential for some accumulating snowfall across a little wider area courtesy of those colder temperatures, particularly on day 2, Wednesday of this system. Thursday, we're done with our storm systems, generally looking for a drying trend to kick off Thursday and continue into next weekend. A little bit of warming. You can see high temperatures shown here on this graphic for Thursday, still holding in the 30s and 40s. We may be getting closer to 50 or the low 50s by the time we get into next weekend at lower elevations, places like Pocatello and Burley. A little bit of low confidence here on whether we'll still see some light snow showers across our mountain regions from Thursday onward. Generally, we're going to be breaking into more of a ridge of high pressure type scenario. Not looking for any organized storm systems to come charging through, but it's going to be kind of what we call a dirty flow. A little bit of moisture coming in off the coast in that flow. Certainly may continue some light snow shower activity there at higher elevations Thursday into next weekend. And that's it for your hazard briefing today. Again, here's the summary of Storm 1 and Storm 2, kind of the main impacts that we're expecting in snowfall accumulations this week. Continue to monitor the latest data as it comes in and join us again for briefings every